Hello there. In this video, I'll show you how to install Visual Studio Code, or in short VS Code, connect to the remote CMU server from VS Code, and transfer files from your local machine to the remote server. VS Code is one of the widely used text editors like Sublime Text or Atom or Notepad++, or Vim, etc. It's mostly used for coding. Now, for some of your programming courses, you will have to work on the CMU server. Currently, as default, a software named PuTTY is being used to connect to the server, and another software named FileZilla is used for transferring files. However, you can do both of these tasks in the VS Code itself. Now, people who are not familiar with Linux commands might find it difficult to work on PuTTY, as PuTTY is fully terminal based. Also, if you want, you can still work on the PuTTY from the text editors like Vim or Emacs, but as I said earlier, PuTTY itself is terminal based, so again, these text editors are also terminal based. There is no graphical user interface, or in short, GUI. And another issue with PuTTY is that the software is not very stable. So your connection might cut out in the middle of your work. Even worse, PuTTY can completely stop responding. So you'll have to restore the software and start working from the very beginning. On the other hand, VS Code have both an attractive and easy to use graphical user interface and the terminal. So you can choose your workspace according to your convenience. You can work either from the GUI or from the terminal, or you can use both simultaneously from the VS Code itself without having to switch between softwares. Okay, let's get started. Oh, and by the way, before we begin, let me clarify one thing. We'll be working with the official VS Code software and not the VS Code Insider software. Well, there are two softwares of VS Code. The one that is officially published and the other that is the Insider. Well, the VS Code Insider is a beta version of VS Code where usually the VS Code, like the developers, they test their features in the Insider. So it's not, the Insider version is not very stable. Plus, you might find it like complicated to use as well. So as a beginner, I would suggest to stick to the stable one that I'm going to show you in a moment. Additionally, if you already have VS Code installed, then there is no point of following through the setup process that I'm going to go through now. You can directly skip ahead to the part where we'll connect to the server. Okay, so let's start by downloading the software first. Go to the browser of your choice, type in VS Code. Go to the downloads, choose the version according to your operating system. Mine is 64-bit Windows, and it will prompt you with the folder to download the exe file. Save it. Once the download is complete, you will see the exe file in the bottom left corner of your browser, and click on it. Accept the agreement, next, leave everything by default, next, and then click on install. However, as I already have VS Code installed in my machine, so I will not install it once again. So the installation process is mostly similar for Mac and Linux as well, and apparently it's even easier for Mac because the moment you download the software, it gets installed automatically, so you can just click on it and it will open up. And for Windows, yeah, once you're done with installation, just open up the VS Code software or app. Now once you are in the VS Code, go to the extensions. Here in the left corner of VS Code, you will find this icon here, some 4 squares. It says extensions. Just click on it, type remote dash SSH. Click on the extension that comes here and make sure it has to be this one. Install. So once it has been installed, you will find another icon above the extension is something like this, says Remote Explorer. Click on it. Now click on the add new, the plus sign says add new. Here type in SSH, your NGO ID. For me it's mshakir @ now @ it will be the domain. Now here I need to tell you something is that if you're in Qatar, then you can follow me exactly because you will have the same domain. But if you're not in Qatar campus but in somewhere else, then your domain might differ from ours. So in that case you might want to check with your IT department and ask them for the domain. So for us the domain is unix.qatar.cmu.edu. Hit enter. Select the first option here which says the config. Okay, now you will find this unix.qatar.cmu.edu option here in this left panel. Click on the option here which says connect to host in a new window. So now it will prompt you for your NGO password. For the password, type in your NGO password, and before typing the password make sure that your username here is correct. If it's not the correct NGO ID, then close the window and again try to reconnect, or again follow the previous step. Okay, now go ahead and type your password once you confirm the NGO ID. Hit enter once you are done, and here you will see the option. It says SSH unix.qatar.cmu.edu, means it's connected to the CMU server. So for the file transfer, let's open some folder at first. Click on the open folder. So all of these folders are in my CMU server. Let's go to the public folder and we'll open this one. Okay, apparently okay, it would prompt you for your password again because you have opened the folder newly. Hit enter, and yeah, so for now I don't have any folders or files in this directory. So for this test I actually created a folder named test in my laptop or in my machine. So I'm gonna transfer this folder in this server, in the directory in this server. So to do so, just click on the folder and drag the folder to the server place. Copy folder, and there you go. I had a test file on it in the folder, and so now it is inside the remote server. So that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful and solved any problem you had.